Okay, I'm going to put this here and see if I can make sure it doesn't fall, because then
my gosh, that would be awesome.
JCPS will fire me.
Do you want to put it somewhere else?
No, I think it's fine.
Okay,
right.
Just don't laugh a whole lot.
Yeah, I'll try not to be very funny.
Okay, yeah. Let's just be mediocre tonight.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Let me tell you a story.
Welcome to My Skeptical Sister.
Cheers to that.
I'm Erin, the believer.
I'm Megan, the skeptic.
All right. I think this is episode 10.
Oh my gosh, it's our anniversary. That's got to be something.
Double digits.
And yeah, double. I'm like, no, not an anniversary. That'd be like on the year that we started.
It's not even a month anniversary.
No, it's just
not
double
divisible
digits.
by 4.
I just got real excited though for double digits. That is pretty cool. It's like cool. We're a decade old, only in weeks.
We're like a middle school couple right now.
That's right. Yeah,
celebrates every milestone.
Yeah, every milestone. Too funny. So back in our studio, got the fire going this time.
Yeah, with no latch is open,
and you were successful.
The latch is fully open. I may have broken the fireplace, but I don't think so.
Like last time or this time?
No. Last time I couldn't get it to open, and I thought, well, it's kind of open. We'll be okay. It was not okay last time.
Uh-oh.
But this time, I just kept working until finally I got that little thing to fall open. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it closed again. So we might just be real cold.
And I like your technical terms too. The little thing to fall down.
Yeah. I think everybody knows what I mean, right?
Oh, sure. I have no idea, but I think
the little lid that's inside.
It's like a flute. Is that what it's called?
I don't have any idea. Are you kidding me? I don't know. But anyways, we've got the fire going, which is good because it's freaking freezing.
It is freezing.
It is so cold outside.
Yes, and we're hoping that there was not a little child outside alone.
Okay, so
yeah, tell me the story.
Story is, I was waiting for Megan to come over, and I had one headphone in. I was listening to a podcast, and I swear I heard like a child, like a little kid screaming outside. And I took my headphone out, and I didn't hear anything. And I put my headphone back in, and I could hear it again. But I was listening.
So what does that tell you, people? No, it was something in the headphone.
I know, but I was listening to 2 Girls, 1 Ghost, which is like 2 young...
It's about ghosts.
I know, but it's like 2 young girls. Like, I don't know, they're like in their young 20s. They don't have kids running around crying.
That you know of. I mean, that's like...
And what's weirder is that as soon as I took it out the second time, Ellie, my dog, who is going to be snoring tonight, we didn't put her away.
We tried to put her under some covers, but
we tried to muffle her snores. But... Well, I was saying, as she got really nervous and started running to the window. I got nervous that something was happening at the neighbor's house. I looked out the window to see if our neighbors were okay, and nobody was
and then
there.
I'm like, because I knew it was going to be cold back here, so I took my really warm blanket you got me for Christmas, and I wrapped it up, and I'm like coming over, and I'm like, I look so ridiculous right now crossing the street with my big box of wine, and I'm all huddled up, and you opened the door, and I was like, I'm a black-eyed child. Thinking that would be funny. You're like, what did you say about a child? I'm like, I said I'm a black-eyed child. And you still were so serious. I'm like, well, that joke bombed. Like, no, I swear. I heard a kid out there crying. I was like, oh, no. It was totally just me pretending to be a scary child with black eyes.
Yeah, it was really scary.
But I wasn't making any noise. So that is a little suspicious.
Yeah, it's a little creepy.
Yeah.
But on a totally different subject, you're not going to be nearly as excited as I am.
Hold on, let me guess. It's either Twilight, Harry Potter, or romance.
No, it's none of those things. If we could get some people who like
famous
them.
People.
Yeah,
sure.
And that's where Twitter.
Famous people like to hang out on Twitter, right?
Famous people love Twitter. I don't get it. I don't like that. It limits how. I'm not even a big word poster.
Yeah.
But
I want to
knowing
there's
a limit freaks me out.
Right,
I don't know.
I am a words person. I'm not very good at pronouncing them, but I like to write them a lot.
Yeah, you make some.
I get wordy,
but they're funny usually. Or I mean, sometimes they're meaningful and deep, but big, whatever. I didn't mean to say you're not funny when you're trying to be funny. But anyways, I thought, you know who my favorite author, Jenny Lawson, who is that comedian? Well, I don't even know. I think she's a comedian. She writes the funniest
I've heard
stories.
you talk about her before.
Yes, she's hilarious. If you have not read any of her books, oh my gosh, you have to. They're so, so funny. But she's on Twitter all the time, and I had just seen her pop up because I get her little blog emails, and I was like, oh my gosh, what if Jenny Lawson would listen just to one episode?
Right.
So I posted something on Twitter, and I was like, I don't know what to put on here. I really want you guys to listen to this, whatever. And then
it sounds compelling.
I know,
it really
sounds
great. You're going to pull them all in
Right.
with that. I don't know how to word this. I can just come and listen if you want to.
I mean, I described it. I was like, if you like a little bit spooky and you like comedy, then you think you'll like our podcast. And I put a couple hashtags in there, like the youth do. And then I just thought, why not just tag Jenny Lawson?
Why not, Jenny? Give it a go, Jenny on the block.
I guess who follows us now?
Shut your mouth.
She follows us.
Well, shout out to Jenny. You are hilarious, girl. I've never read anything she's written because I don't read.
Well, you have heard passages because I have read you some passages.
Yes.
Like the one.
I can read. Let's specify that. I can read because that made it sound like
I don't know how.
I read to you. I read those passages to you. I do know how to read. I just prefer to listen to my words instead of read them. Maybe if I read more, I would pronounce words better.
Oh man. Well, she is by far the funniest author I've ever read.
Does she do like a is it fiction or nonfiction?
No, it's all about like her life and
Nice.
memoir, and she's like obsessed with taxidermy. She the funniest thing I've ever read, which I just want to go back. I gotta find out where it is in her books because it is. I was walking on my lunch break back when at my old job before I was teacher, and crying in the parking lot, laughing so hard, and people were like, "What is wrong?" I was like, "I don't care. This is so funny." So she had some stomach issues.
Oh no!
Rushed to the bathroom, and then she kept hearing things outside her door, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm being robbed, and I've got diarrhea."
Oh no!
And the whole thing goes on and on. The robber, she thinks, keeps putting something under the door.
That is the most playful robber ever.
Pulling it back, and she was like, "What the hell are you doing?" She was like getting really mad. She's like, "I will come out there,
oh no,
when I can." And
it
turns out to be like her cat or something.
Oh.
I really got to go back and read it because it was, oh my gosh, the funniest thing I've ever read in my life.
So I think I cannot believe I'm about to share this on. I was on national TV. That's like what popped in my mind. I don't know. Well, I guess we are kind of national. I mean, we've got people all
international.
Over. We're international. That's right. And then we're definitely not on TV. But what made me think of that is like the worst times to get something like that would be when you're getting robbed. I mean, that's horrible.
That's horrible.
What do? Just yell at them? You better don't take that.
Don't
even
thing.
touch that. Or on a date.
Oh my gosh.
Third date in, I think. Yeah, total food poisoning. Both ends.
Oh no.
In his bathroom.
Was this your current husband?
Oh no. Thank goodness. No. Like after no, thank goodness I don't have to relive this except for on air, I guess. Like what am I? Masochistic, I guess. But no, I was dating this guy. I had just started seeing him, but I remember like really liking him, and I was like, oh, I've got this biggest crush on this guy, and it's going really well. And then we went and ate somewhere, and then we stopped at his house. We were going to go see a movie later, but we stopped in between, and it just hit me out of nowhere.
No.
And I was in there for like over an hour, and he kept coming to the door like, are you okay? I'm like, go away. Like at first I was being all polite, like, yeah, I'll be okay. I'll be fine. I'm like, oh my gosh, never ending. It was the worst ever. And then finally when I was like, I know I'm not done, but I think I'm on a break, like I like opened the door. I mean, I had to have looked like yellow. I like yellow and sweating. And I was like, I think I have to go home. And there was no like, okay, or you're like, well, what's going on? I was just like, okay, well, I'll see you later.
Yeah, please get out.
Like, wrap it up, whatever you're doing. It was the worst.
Oh my gosh.
It was awful. I was like down and out for a week after that. It was that is awful. And then I think we maybe tried one other date after that, but after that it's like
so sweet.
No,
I never want to see you again.
Chemistry is all done after that. You got to be real good and married before that goes, and then still keep the chemistry. Because what other choice do you have? It's like, Come on, let's try to muster up something here, spark somewhere after all that.
Oh gosh, that's hilarious. Yeah, that did happen when Kevin and I were dating, but we were pretty far along.
Okay.
But when we were visiting our parents, mom and dad,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember because I think
it happened to
college,
you or him.
It happened to me.
Oh,
I was
at
in
least
college.
Your mom and dad's.
Yeah, so I was still in school. I think we weren't engaged yet, but we were pretty close to being engaged, and we were both spending the night at mom and dad's for the weekend because we had a long distance relationship for a long time. But anyway, so he kept coming to the door, and I said, "Kevin, I need you to go get my mom." And he was like, "I can help you." And I said,
No.
"I need you to love me still. I need my mom."
Yeah,
like
she has to love me. That woman has been cleaning up after me for my entire life.
That's right. Get my mom, go upstairs, and do not come down the rest of the night. I don't want to see your face.
Yeah.
Because I love you.
Oh, well, yeah. It's the same thing. Remember what? This past summer when I had a little too much and outside and you went inside to go to the bathroom and I'm like, oh no, I stood up and I definitely threw up in the backyard. And James, who is my husband, who is going to nursing school, comes behind me and makes the fatal, I'm like, you're going to nursing school? I'm sorry. He goes, who? Right behind me as I'm throwing up. And I was like, get away from me and get my sister now. He's like, okay, gladly.
I walked out and he was like, she wants
you, not me. I'm like, yeah, I don't make the whoop sound.
Or James, you need to get that under control.
For sure. Yeah, smells. I'm like, how are you going to do this?
Yeah.
Like, if our dog smells of a dog, he's like, oh, I can't even take it. I'm like, you good luck nurse school. I'm kidding. He'll do great. He just might have to, like, have Epsom or what are those salts that you put, like, he'll constantly have to keep those around in case he passes out.
I think they're called smelling salts.
Smelling salts. That would make sense. You smell them, right? Oh, too funny. But that's so funny. I didn't know I was going to go down that whole memory lane.
Yeah. Sorry.
Admit how much I have, like, puking and bodily functions happening. It's a strange way to open up.
Yeah, we both really just shared a lot.
We're getting to know our fans. We feel comfortable
with
them.
They're getting to know us.
They sure are, whether they wanted to know it or not. They just found out a lot. So.
Oh, Jenny's like, I'm never going to listen.
I know. She's like,
why? Why did you tag me in
class and put a cat in my story?
No, it's funny. Yeah. So anyways, moving on to story-wise, I've got a really good story.
Okay, I do too. I'm excited.
I am too. We both sent messages saying, ooh, my story's really good today.
So you want to go first?
Sure, I can go first. So this story is from, I know I've met her through Zoom. I don't think I've ever met her in person.
Wait a second. Did you just like stumble upon her in a Zoom meeting once?
Yeah, I just randomly go to like Zoom.
Oh, Zoom. Wait. I know who these people are. Okay.
Yeah. So years ago, my daughter, the first Girl Scout encounter we ever had was in a bit of a weird group. Mm-hmm. It wasn't smooth. Let's just say that.
Be careful. The other lady might be listening.
Not that it was anyone lady's fault.
It could have been.
Okay.
But if it was you, it wasn't you we're talking about.
No. It just didn't work.
Okay.
But I remember, and I always say that sometimes I meet people and think, we would be really good friends. Well, one of the moms at this group, I thought, I want to be her friend because she's very cool. Like, I don't know if I'm cool enough to be her friend, but she is like.
I feel like you always doubt your coolness. You just need to own it, girl.
Oh, I do always doubt my coolness.
You do.
But
you just go for it. I think you're cool enough. And so if they don't think you're cool enough, you always have me to fall back on.
Well, that's very nice.
Be brave.
All right, thanks. When that whole Girl Scout troop just kind of petered out, it didn't really work. It wrapped up. I got a really weird invitation to her annual, like her 12-year running annual ornament exchange party. And it was
funny. Like, did she mean
this
to
was
invite
a mistake?
Me? Yeah.
Because I hadn't seen her in like, I don't know, 9 months or something.
You really made an impression. Your coolness made an impression on her.
This is why I should not doubt it. So I sent her a message and said, hey, did you mean to send this to me? And she just laughed and said, yeah, I've thrown it for years, and it's just a Mod Podge of anybody I like that year, and I invite them, and
that's so cool. What a great idea. Just like set a goal in your mind. I'm going to meet at least one person this year that I'm going to invite to my next party, and
Yeah.
just kind of be on the lookout. And you made the list.
Yeah, it was really cool. Well,
That's
it's
really
not one person because there were at least 3 people who were new that year.
Wow.
Because then I started talking to these. I was like, so have you been here? Because some of them had been for years and years.
Yeah.
And I talked to a few and they're like, no, this is my first time. So.
And what an open, like a good welcoming group. A lot of times you've had a group for that long. You're like, the new person. Right. I mean, they probably did all stay on after you turned your camera off and all talked about you.
But the first time it was all in person.
Oh, that's right.
This year, of course, it was over Zoom. But what was nice is that we got to meet because it's like legendary. They're like, oh yeah, this person now lives here, and they sent their ornament so they can participate. But one of the girls is this lady named Rebe. I want to make sure I said it right. I checked today, made sure I got it right. And she now lives in Florida. I think she's from Louisville originally. But I actually got to talk to her, and they were so nice. And she said, oh, I've got some ghost stories. So she said,
awesome. She sent it in. Well, welcome, Florida. Welcome,
I know.
Rebe.
Come on, Florida. Boy, I feel like I just talked for 18 years.
You did. We might have to cut some of that.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh boy, I got real long-winded.
It happens. It's us.
Okay, so here, let's see.
Yeah, you all, if you could hear the amount of stuff we cut out in editing, we would have you on here forever if we didn't. So
that's right. So we edit. Okay, but we're going to go ahead and get started. So this is Rebe's email. It says, hey, sisters, I have a few stories to share with you and your followers, but honestly, where do I start? Backstory, I guess. I grew up in a beautiful home on Eastern Parkway in lovely little Louisville.
That's like right over there.
Super close.
Wow.
I know. It was my grandmother's home, and she graciously took in my pregnant mom, my 3 older sisters, and myself.
Wow.
I know. The rumor was the previous owner had died in the home, but I truly can neither confirm nor deny that, so I will tell you what I know.
Okay.
This wonderful home was haunted.
That's what she knows.
And there were activities through the many years of living there. Very rarely did it feel evil or wicked, simply present. Let's see. My mom had the majority of instances. Okay, this is where I'm like, Rebe, I liked you, but I want to hang out with your mom.
Well, you can still like Rebe and hang out with
Yeah. But like, I get why Rebe's cool. Her
gotcha.
mom and I sound like same kind of mother.
You start going to her ornament party.
That's right.
Okay.
Seeing lights and orbs, feeling watched. She was a single mom with 4 girls and had been putting herself through school at U of L, late nights and basically functioning on coffee. I remember her telling me a story of staying up late, studying for an important test when she heard laughing coming from the bedroom I shared with my sisters. My mom marched upstairs to scold us, but the sound had ceased when she had reached the top of the winding steps. Open the door, and we are all sound asleep. So she heads back down to resume studying, talking this time from several voices and laughter responding. She waits to see how long it will continue and decides to check it out again when the voices don't stop. Again, all 4 of us are out. So that's part I'm a little bit confused about. So I guess once she walked in, they stopped, but like they were asleep as soon as, she was still sleeping when she opened the door. All the kids were still asleep. She opened the door, and I guess then it stopped because.
Or maybe it kept going.
Are you hearing it while you're standing there?
Maybe. She said it kept going.
Again, all 4 of us were out. Nothing. Not pretend sleeping. It was too late for that. Down she goes.
She's like, good luck, kids.
Bye.
This is weird, but I'm out of here. I got some studying to do.
Right. Down she goes, giggles and chatter again, back up the stairs, and nothing. So she closes the door, and having had experiences before believing it was paranormal, she states something along the lines of, please don't wake them up. I have studying to do. So my mom settles back at the table, and all is calm and quiet. As she gets back to the books, she not only hears, but also feels the breath of a heavy, dramatic sigh in her ear.
Oh.
No, so clearly it was a teenager ghost.
Yeah, like, whatever, we have to be quiet.
Fine. Okay, this is great. My mom is a rock star, and it cracks me up to know that her reaction was not, I need to check on the girls. Instead, she says she stood up and said firmly, stop it, turns the table and backs it into the corner, and is finally able to study the night away.
Wow.
She's like, don't get behind me and breathe on my neck.
Do this. I am busy. Love it. Love her.
All of my sisters, save one, have heard our names called when no one was there more than once, and I even felt, oh, the computer almost fell. Sorry.
My hand back here.
Oh, that's a great plan. Okay, I'm going to read that again. All of my sisters, save one, have heard our names called when no one was there more than once, and I even felt a comforting, cool hand placed on my head when I had stayed home sick from school. There was no one home with me that day. Naturally, I turned on every single light on the first floor, despite it being the middle of the damn day, and sat on a stool in the kitchen until the troops returned. Like I said, almost never scary. I was still creeped the fuck out. The final bit I will share with you lovelies is this. I have 2 twin cousins. They might as well be sisters. We grew up in a wonderful clan of women, always together through thick and thin, a handful of years younger than myself. Her cousins were. That was all in parentheses. So her cousins are a couple years younger. This was many years ago. Most of our herd was outside in the pool or yard enjoying the day while the twins were inside. And I did check with her. The twins were about 4 years old at this time.
Okay. It's a creepy age.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yes. As someone who has a 4-year-old, creeps me out all the time. Yeah.
Right? And twins.
Oh, yeah. There's something about twins. I think it was The Shining that did that for me.
Yeah. Really, really ruined twins' reputation.
Poor twins. Yeah.
Somehow, some way, they were locked in my bedroom. It's an older house with a skeleton key at some point, but lost over time. We do not know how long they were locked in that room. What we do know is that both of my sweet tiny cousins eventually came running out of the house, crying, sobbing.
Aww.
Why didn't you come get us? Why didn't you let us out? We were screaming for you. Both of them were shaking, scared, and red-eyed. They explained the door was locked, not stuck, but locked. They couldn't even jiggle the handle. So how did they get out, we wondered? Brace yourself. The little girl let us out and walked down the hall. Down the hall? What little girl? The rest of us were outside. A few years prior, and this part's really sad. A few years prior, my little sister, because remember how her mom had been pregnant when they moved in.
Oh, yeah.
Had drowned in the swimming pool.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. It's so sad.
Really?
It's so sad.
Oh, that is heartbreaking.
I know. And this little girl that her cousin saw was walking back to the room that she had shared with her mom.
Whoa.
So it's almost as if something dark and scary had locked the little girls in, and their little cousin
baby came and saved them.
Yeah, came and unlocked the door and went back to her mom's room.
That made me teary-eyed. So
I
don't know if that
know.
means I believe or not, but that got me, Rebe.
I know. It's so sad. It's so sad.
Wow.
All right, sisters. Let's see what you've got to say about a few of those stories. There are more from the home of my childhood and some of my favorite memories. Looking forward to your next podcast. Cheers, lovelies. Rebe.
Cheers, but I don't have anything to say after that ending. My goodness. So sorry for your loss, Rebe.
I know, it's so sad.
Your mama's lost too. That's hard.
I know.
But what a neat tribute to her.
I know.
To her spirit, to think that she was kind enough to come and save her cousins.
I know.
Whether she met them or not, I wonder if they ever got to meet them. The timeline.
Okay, so I did send her a message because I tried to piece that together so it sounded more cohesive, but there were a couple little things that I had to ask her about. So she said the twins were 4 years old at the time, and even though I said we were raised with a herd of young girls, they should have been the littlest in the house. But yes, the assumption being was that it was my sister who passed away a few years prior. So if they were only 4,
wow,
there's a chance they didn't even know about her.
Wow.
It's also worth mentioning that presumably they were shut in the room by a less friendly being that was sometimes seen in our closet.
Oh, you left that whole part out, Rebe.
What?
Just now.
What?
I mean, we might need to know a little bit more about the closet monster.
I know. Oh, and then when the hand was placed on my head, I was in our living room, but that room had been the bedroom of the previous owner that had died. Ooh. In her room, hello, coincidence perhaps, but my instincts tell me no.
Hoo-hoo. I want to know this house.
I know.
Give us the address for me. We will not put it on the podcast, but just just to slide a little DM in.
Right.
Of that.
Slide into our DMs.
Slide into our DMs.
Throwback
and give us the address so we can check out that house. That's crazy.
I know. I've got so many students who live on Eastern Parkway. I want to be like, whose house is it?
Whose house is it? And have you had any experiences?
You got any stories?
What's going on in your closet? Don't ask that. That might be creepy. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Don't ask
fired.
the little kid. Yeah, let's not get fired. Too funny. Wow, great story.
I know. I love her like style.
Cadence.
I know.
Yeah, the whole. Yeah,
yeah,
that was beautiful.
I know. I really liked it.
It's weird.
Okay.
So you know how our our stories a lot of times line up.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like yours was about a badass woman, right? Reeby's mom. And mine is about a badass woman named Jane. So we are going to listen to it. And this is written by her sister about Jane, but she names her Jane, so I'm not going to tell you who's the sister because that will give away. But for whatever reason, Jane wants to be anonymous, so we're going to respect that.
Okay. So you're not going to tell us who wrote it? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, this is a friend of ours, a friend of the pods, of the podcast, who tells us the story about her sister Jane. She got her to tell her the story, but she does not use Jane's real name. So I'm just to be respectful, we'll just go into it that way. Okay. So anyway, I just thought that was cool. I was like,
a little mysterious then.
It is. It'll leave you wondering. Go through. I will give you a hint. No, maybe I shouldn't. I was going to say she is a fan. She is a member of the Facebook fan.
Oh, girl.
So we got like 300. So
growing.
Good luck figuring that out. Okay. Although she does put in a couple other little hints in here. This could be a fun guessing game, like when we guessed Mary Poppins last week. Okay. Oh no, Sipsy. Okay. That would have been more fun if it was Mary Poppins, but that's okay. All right. So here we go. I totally harangued the crap out of my family for scary stories, and I have a very scary one from my sister. Let's call her Jane. All right. Okay. So Jane is a responsible, kick-ass lady who is an amazing mom and sister. When she sounds just like me. I'm just kidding. Did you think I was going to say she sounds just like you?
Well, no.
Okay.
No, I would never assume.
Never that, no. Okay. So Jane is a responsible, kick-ass lady who is an amazing mom and sister. When she was a teenager, however, she was a real hellraiser. She does sound like me, doesn't she? I know, I thought the same thing. She spent a lot of time with her best friend, let's call her Angela, at Angela's house, largely away of the prying eyes of lame adults, since Angela's parents worked wild hours. Shortly after they moved, Jane was in the living room and Angela was in the basement checking on laundry. So Angela is the one that lives there. That's why she was checking on laundry. My sister heard Angela yelp before running up the stairs. When Jane asked what was wrong, Angela said she'd seen someone in the basement. Jane, who is and was a total badass, grabbed a baseball bat and said, "Let's go get him."
That's my mom's story.
Do you want to call her after this? Because I thought she could be our third story.
Oh my gosh. Do you think she'd be okay to...
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That was my surprise. I couldn't wait to get to that point because I'm like, I've got an idea. Okay. So we'll see how that goes. It might bomb. You never know with our mom. We could call her and she'd be like, yeah, let's do it. That sounds great. Or she'd be like, are you kidding me? I'm not going to be on your podcast. Jane, who is and was a total badass, grabbed a baseball bat and said, "Let's go get him." They climbed down the basement stairs to find absolutely no one. Angela was absolutely freaking out and insisted she saw someone, describing a man in a blue military uniform.
Oh.
Okay, so that's like...
Okay, so I don't know. Perrysburg? Where do they say?
Prestonburg.
Prestonburg,
Kentucky.
Prestonburg.
Well, she's going to explain a little bit about it.
Okay.
Okay, I think you're on the right track. At this point, Jane thought Angela was messing with her and brushed her off until the noises began. One evening, days or weeks later, and in parentheses, my sister said it's been too long and she can't remember the exact timeline. When both Angela's parents were gone and Jane and Angela had gone to bed, Jane awoke to a loud thumping sound. She lay there frozen for a few seconds, trying to get her bearings, and the sound just kept growing louder and louder. Thump, 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 always in groups of 3. She finally found her voice, She finally found her voice enough to whisper to Angela and ask if she was awake. Angela responded, "Yes. Do you hear it too?" They crept toward the door and realized the sound seemed to be coming from the basement.
Oh, no.
As though someone were pounding on the ceiling of the basement as hard as they could. The girls scrambled back into bed. This was pre-cell phone, pre-internet in every home. It was the middle of the night, and they were alone with no idea what to do.
Oh, no,
Right?
no.
They decided that since it seemed confined to the basement, their only choice was to try and ignore it. Hope it would stop soon and tell Angela's parents as soon as they walked in the door. So that's what they did. Angela's parents laughed at them, of course, and didn't believe any of it. That is, until her mom experienced it too. After countless bumps in the night.
Sweet justice.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. Like, yeah, you believe me now, don't you, Mom? After
I
countless.
thought you were going to be like, bitch, but I'm really glad you didn't. It's your mom.
Couldn't call Angela's mom a bitch. You know,
I'm sure she's
if
lovely.
she were my own mom and I were a teenager, I would have gone there. But she's not my own mom, and I'm not a teenager.
And you
anymore.
wouldn't do it now.
No, not now. Now I know that I was the bitch as the teenager, but back then I totally thought I was my mom. But as you'll hopefully get to meet soon, it's no.
Yeah, you would be wrong.
And you would be terrified if you ever said that word to her.
Oh my gosh.
We better
I'm already nervous that we said it on here.
I know she'll probably listen to
this
episode. Oh gosh. Whew, I'm getting hot.
I said the F word earlier in that email.
Girl, we better bleep that out. Okay. All right.
Let's call Mom next. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, on the next episode. Okay. After countless bumps in the night when only the kids were home, it was finally Angela's mother who was on her own in the house when it started up, as my sister phrased it. Mom was lounging on the couch when she heard someone knock at the door. She went to answer it, but there was no one there. This happened a few more times, with the knocking progressing to an insistent pounding. What finally sent her running out of the house was that she realized the knocking hadn't been coming from the front door, but from the nearby door to the basement instead.
Oh, I don't like it at all.
I'm not sure exactly how long they ended up living there, and neither is my sister. She does remember, however, that while they still lived there, a girl they knew who lived in the area said that she was familiar with the house. According to her, the couple who'd lived there before complained the house never felt right. At one point, the man who lived there had a mental health issue crisis and unfortunately tried, unsuccessfully, thank goodness, to complete suicide in the house. In which room? The basement, of course.
Oh.
Right? What does that remind you of? He was unsuccessful, but apparently he attempted suicide in the basement.
Just like bad energy.
Yeah. Like,
I guess.
Yeah.
What does it remind me of?
Yeah, that movie. What's the movie where the dad in the basement?
Amityville Horror?
Yes, Amityville.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what that reminds you of.
Yeah.
I don't know what it reminds you of, but me, sometimes, you know how we always are weirded out by the fact that our iPhones don't read the same face? Like, give me your phone. Why isn't it opening up? Oh, yeah, because it doesn't recognize how closely we look. Same with our minds. I'm like, you weren't thinking that? That's
but
really
in
strange.
Amityville Horror, he went like on a killing spree. He didn't go on a suicidal spree.
Well, but it started like the negative energy came from the basement. It was like something was going on with the basement that caused him to have.
You're right. That movie scared me so bad I haven't seen it since college.
Yeah, it's a good one.
As my roommate at the time said, because this is
yeah, this is good.
On our way home. Speaking of diarrhea, she said, she was real country. Oh, I love her. I miss her so much. She said, Erin, that movie's so scared. It gave me the Skitters.
It gave me the Skitters.
And I was like, I don't even know what the Skitters are. She's like, you know, the trots, diarrhea. I was like, oh my gosh.
I love that, the Skitters. Whew, they can be funny.
That's our
but then
title.
They cannot be. Yeah, there it is, the Skitters.
Oh,
it's not going to be what people think it is.
No.
They're like, oh, this is a paranormal podcast. I bet that means like a cryptid or something.
This must be our highest rating. It's all about diarrhea. I'm so sorry
people are here.
People
not for diarrhea jokes.
And people who wrote in, I'm so sorry we've talked about diarrhea so much because your stories are fantastic.
Oh yeah, we've sprinkled diarrhea all through.
Oh my gosh. Ew, 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 ew. That's not our title, or no one will listen.
Nobody will listen. Oh my gosh. I know we gotta like sneak it in while we can. Okay, I'm kidding. Oh my gosh, I got hot after that. I don't know why. That was the wine or like embarrassment about so much diarrhea talk.
I just had a full mouth of bourbon that I was trying desperately not to spew out.
Sorry about that. Okay. Oh my goodness. I live in Lexington now, but my whole family still lives deep in eastern Kentucky. It's a beautiful place with a difficult past. I love how she writes.
I know, me too.
It's a beautiful place with a difficult past.
There's another hint.
There is another hint. I may have liked another one of her emails. Okay, that house was built very near a Civil War battlefield. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
My sister is convinced that her friend saw a long dead soldier in that basement and that he spent his afterlife scaring the hell out of anyone who dared live there.
Well, you bitch.
Not you.
No.
The
Soldier.
The soldier, right. Boy, you're just throwing that out there for Mom to hear left and right.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. She'll laugh.
What a jerk.
Unless she's in a bad mood.
He was probably, if he was fighting for Kentucky.
Well, right. I mean, he was...
I don't know what the colors were, but
Let's say this. If he was waving a Confederate flag, then no wonder he was a jerk.
Right, there you go.
We'll say that.
Yeah, and if that ticks you off enough to leave, then that's okay.
We're okay with it. You can take your
Here's
listening
our
ears.
second cheers.
Cheers to that. Boy, we just bring it out, and when we do, we ostracize a lot, but we're okay. I'm okay with ostracizing the right people.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so should we call Mom?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous. It's already 10:30.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, Mom's awake,
so
but Dad...
Well, we're going to call the house phone.
Okay, that does not make it better.
I'll do the calling. Okay. We're going to record this whole thing because you're going to get, if we might edit all of this, but we might edit the whole thing and just end with 2 stories, which would be lovely as well. But because we could either get Mom, who's like delighted that we called, or Dad, who's like, why are you calling this late? I was watching the news and going to bed.
Right.
Or Mom, who is like pissed off that we woke up Dad, that she, so we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
There's lots of, and there's like probably 10 more scenarios in there we didn't even think of.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe
are you on edge?
Her
are you feeling,
live.
Are you feeling as like the butterflies like we are? Probably not, because you won't experience the wrath.
You've never seen Diana Clem stare. Although a lot of you have.
A lot of you have. Yes, a lot of my friends who used to spend the night at my house have definitely had her come in. And
Marsha's seen it.
Oh, yeah, Marsha's seen it. Oh, cheers, Aunt Marsha. We didn't mention you.
It's been a while.
It has been. I hope you're still around. I mean,
still
in the podcast, not just like in general.
Yeah, we're sorry the Packers didn't make the Super Bowl. I would have liked that.
Oh, yeah, that would have been very much a celebration for you guys. Okay. All right, I'm looking up the phone number. That's so funny. I'm like, why can't I find Mom in here? That's because I know her phone number by heart. Okay.
You don't even have them programmed?
Not Mom's number, not the house number. Okay, shh. Here we go.
Okay, is it on speaker? I'm so nervous. I want to throw up.
She'll just think something's wrong because it's late. She'll be like, oh my gosh. I hope it's Mom that answers.
Me too.
Aaron's eyes just got really big.
Hello.
Hey, Mama.
Hi, Mom.
Hi.
Were you asleep?
No.
Oh, were you laying down?
It's one of our, I think it's Megan.
It's,
no, honey, I'm just surprised.
I know, we are surprising you. It's actually Aaron and Megan, and you're live on our podcast right now. How do you feel about that?
Oh, my gosh. Well, it's Aaron and Megan. They're calling me from their podcast. Okay.
Well, we listen, Mama. We had a story that made us think about you, and we were wondering if you would do a little live segment and tell your story.
About what?
About your baseball bat story.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah. Would you mind telling our listeners? Like right now, we can edit anything, so don't get nervous or anything. But because they can't hear you right now.
Yeah, you're not
actually live, but
we are recording.
We are recording. So if you don't mind, could you tell us your story about the baseball bat?
No, I don't mind at all. It's very interesting. I think I can still remember.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, you told it last week. It's fine. I'm just kidding.
I was 16 years old, and that was a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
And my girlfriend's parents were going to Florida, and they had left her home in her house. She was 17, so she stayed with me, most of the time. But about midway through the week, she just wanted to go down and check on her house and make sure everything was okay.
Uh-huh.
And as soon as we walked in the door, she had this funny feeling. She just started walking around the house real fast and checked something in the kitchen and walked in a big circle around her house. And I said, what's the matter? And she goes, somebody's been in here. And I said, oh, nobody's been in here. And she goes, yes, she did. The furnace is up and they left it down. when they left, and there's some cigarettes in the ashtray that don't belong to my parents. It's not their brand.
Oh, it's so creepy.
That is so creepy. But also, I don't think I would ever notice that.
What?
Aaron said, but also, I don't think I would ever notice that.
But I know, but she knew immediately that somebody was in there. And, the hair just went up on her back of her neck.
Yeah, her intuition was an overdose.
I said, okay. I said, let's go home. Let's go home to my house and tell my mom, and I'll get my baseball bats and we'll come back and beat them up. So I was just being a tough and rough and tough 16-year-old at the door, and we went to Mom's. Sure enough, Mom was thinking, oh, it's nothing good. You just imagining all this stuff and everything. So Sherry said, I want to go back. And so we went back to the house. As soon as we walked in the house, right there in the middle of the floor were two baseball bats crossed, like a skull and crossbone.
Yeah.
So we knew whoever was in there was listening to us.
Oh.
That was pretty creepy.
That is very creepy.
So
Aaron's got
scary.
a question for you.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much did you believe her when she thought someone was there when you left? 10 meaning you definitely believed there was somebody in the house when you left that house or had been in the house.
Oh, well, I thought they were gone. I didn't think they were still in the house.
But you did think someone had been there? You believed her that much?
Yeah, I believed her.
Oh, right.
She immediately had her hair up on the back of her neck, so I knew something was wrong.
Okay.
And she never lied to me before, so I didn't see any reason for her to lie down.
Right.
She's a good friend of mine, so
Well,
I didn't want to scare her. So I was trying to just make light of the whole situation because I didn't want her to be afraid.
yeah, and be tough, right? You're being tough.
Yeah, I was being tough.
Yeah, that's what we said, because our other two stories had badass women in it who were like real tough. And I was like, and there was a line in one of the other ones, and immediately, I knew as soon as I was going to get to it, Aaron goes, "Oh my gosh, that reminds me of Mom." And I was like, "I know." So we took a total chance on. We said we could probably call, and either you guys would be really mad that we were calling this late, or you would laugh and be okay with it. So we're glad we got you on the good side.
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
You're cool with it. Good. Well,
someday I'll tell the story about my UFO.
Oh, for sure. Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
we'd love that.
I'll tell you what, that one, because it's so in depth, we will prepare you and bring microphones and everything. Okay.
Yeah,
we'll do that one in person.
We're getting close to vaccinations, so
Yeah.
we'll do that all together.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that one.
All right.
All right. Well, we love you.
Love you,
Tell
Mama.
Dad we love
I
him.
love you.
Good night.
Bye. Love you, Dad.
Later, honey. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh,
It worked.
it worked. That was so fun, and
I
she was
know.
in such a good mood.
She always likes telling that story.
She does. She loves telling any story, really.
I
That's
know.
kind of where we get our long-windedness from, maybe.
I know.
Well, she is going to listen to this. But long-winded, that's it. Listen, in my book, that is, as long as you're witty and long-winded.
Yeah, I asked
a
her
good
that
thing.
question because I was thinking, well, yeah, I never lied to you either, but you always doubted me.
Oh, yeah. She always I'm sick. Well, I mean, she could never believe me. I was a bit of a fibber back then. Growing up.
Back then.
Back then. I've learned the errors of my ways. But anyway, yeah. So badass women is our theme tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And we snuck a third story in there. I was like, I can't wait. I have an idea for a third story. Hopefully the sound is all good.
That's
and
what I was
everything.
just about to say. I hope it sounds okay.
Yeah, me too.
Either way, I think y'all are going to have to listen to it because it's our mom. She's the best.
Yeah, we came out of her. So without her, we would not be here to do this podcast. So we might as well make you all listen to it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And she's like the original badass.
She is the OG. Yes.
Well, maybe Grandma Rosie was the original.
Yeah, that's
but it
true.
definitely got passed down.
It definitely did.
Hopefully,
That's
what our kids. That's how they'll describe us.
Let's hope so, right? But yeah, those were great stories. All three of them were great stories, and yeah. What else you got?
I don't think I have anything else. I do want more bourbon.
Well, we'll sit here and edit for. I mean, we talked for a long time there in the middle, so we might have to
Yeah.
Take a little bit of that out. I'm just trying to think of any good shows or anything that you want to send people off with because of this pandemic. It's always good to leave somebody with something.
I'll tell you what. So I decided I've heard so much talk about this movie that actually I made you come over and watch this weekend.
Oh yes, yeah. Let's talk about that because let's talk about your daughter. She's gonna listen to this.
Yeah, she is. We're gonna pause this because I do want bourbon.
More wine,
and we'll put a commercial right here. Okay, so I had heard from several different podcasts. I guess it was all podcasts because I don't have cable TV, so I don't ever watch commercials or anything. Right. We only do streaming. But they kept talking about this movie that was on Shudder, and this is not an ad. Boy, would I love it if we had a sponsor. We don't, other than Anchor. We love you, Anchor.
We're trying. We're out there wheeling and dealing and hustling.
Doing our best, only for the free stuff, but we're there. We're here for it.
Not getting any of it yet. Still waiting on that fish and chips, Siobhan. I kid, kind of. Okay, go on.
One meal,
one fish and chip. We could even split it, and I'd be like, "Oh, we got this for free." We don't want to split it, but we would brag about it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we would still talk you up. That food is delicious. Imagine how much more enthused we would be if we were eating it while we were
podcasting. But it's fine. It's fine. Okay. Okay.
Anyway,
let's move on. Let's try to.
Yeah. So Shudder is, I don't know, a streaming scary movie service.
Okay.
Which I love scary movies.
Yeah.
I'm kind of picky about scary movies, but I do love them.
Right.
And I'm a horrible chicken. In fact, we had talked about this. I think Megan.
She's so fun to watch scary movies with because she is the biggest chicken. She's such a big chicken that her chicken spills over onto me. I used to be real hardcore and tough when it came to movie, and I think I did that as you were growing up because you were so scared. They'd be like, "It's fine. It'll be fine," because then once you turn off the movie.
Yeah.
But the older I get and the more scared you get, the more scared I get. And I'm like, stop scaring the shit out of me.
I feel like that's one of my biggest talents is I can really draw people into liking a movie with me.
Really do. Yes.
So like, for example,
you bring them into your temperature.
Yeah. That real stupid movie, Little Nicky with Adam Sandler.
Never saw it.
Nobody likes that movie unless they watch it with me. And then they're like, this movie is hilarious. I'm like, this movie is freaking hilarious.
I'll take your word for it.
I have not seen that in at least 15 years. So if it is no longer acceptable, I don't remember.
I'm sure it's not.
I'm sure it's not PC anymore. So take that with a grain of salt because I haven't seen it in a long time.
God.
But anyways, I digress. So Shudder, everybody was talking about this movie, The Host, I think it's just called Host.
Okay.
And it's like it's an hour long, but it's the scariest movie they had ever seen.
I don't know if I'd say it's the scariest movie I've ever seen.
That's what all the podcasts kept saying. So I was like, I had heard it from at least 3 different podcasts had talked about this one movie. So I was like, well, good grief. So I re-listened just to find which one I could get a 30-day trial with.
Smart.
You haven't noticed, I really like free
stuff. We're teachers. I mean, we kind of are programmed to be hoarders and like free stuff.
That's right. So I watched that this weekend with my husband, and it is only an hour. It definitely has a lot of scary moments. I don't know if it's
lots of jump scares.
Yes, a lot of jump scares. Yeah. And it was good. I mean, it was very entertaining for an hour.
Sure. But only if you watch it with her daughter, who is 11, who at the beginning of this movie totally was like the preteen diva was like, "Oh, really, Mom?
It's about people on Zoom." It sounds so
stupid. I was like, "Oh my gosh, your daughter like just blossomed into a teenager right in front of me," because she came out with so much sass about this movie towards you for picking it, and I was like, "Yeah, I remember like a month ago she was like so thrilled to just watch anything with us."
Well, that's the whole. She was mad because the night before I was like, I want a movie that is so scary. It's gonna melt my face off. She was like, "Can I watch it with you?" And I said, "No, I've got to watch it first and make sure it's appropriate." And she was so mad. So I was like, okay. After I watched it with Kevin, I thought, well, she can handle that. I mean, there's like one gory scene and
and mild cussing, which she is the biggest prude about.
Yeah, she
hates cussing. Yes,
yeah, she does. But anyway, so I was like, well, I think she could handle it. We'd be fine to watch it. And she was like, fine, I guess I'll watch it with you. I'm like, good grief.
The angst.
You don't have
the teenage
to.
Angst was palpable. But she was so funny. She sat sat there, and at first it was like, ugh, eye roll. And we got like maybe 10 minutes into it. And we look over and she's got her blanket covered up over her. I got a picture of it. I'll see if
good.
cup over her nose and like her hoodie on. You can only see like slivers of her eyes watching this TV. And she starts pulling a U and screaming at the TV like, oh no, you would not do that. Oh my gosh. And I was dying because I'm like, oh, this is so cute. She tried so hard to be so, whatever, Mom, this is going to be so stupid. And I mean, within minutes, she had melted right into that.
That's right.
Oh,
That's
so
right.
cute.
Yeah, we had talked about, this is another thing. I know that there are some people who podcast for a living, and that's not us. We were both very passionate about
we're
our
okay with that.
career. So this is never going to be a career. So I can't imagine us doing a Patreon for any reason. Maybe if our sound quality, people are like, your sound is really bad.
Right. And maybe it would get better if I would remember the mic.
I know. We're back on our head.
By the way, are just across the street, if that tells you
It's so
anything
cold
about us. It's so cold.
It's fine. I'm sure
Black-eyed children, we heard them screaming before. I'm not going to go again.
What do you want us?
Extra
what
trips.
do you want from us?
What do you want from us? Just good sound quality? Are our lives worth that? Anyway.
So anyways, I don't think we would ever do a Patreon. It doesn't sound like something that's...
Listen, I didn't even know what that meant before you told me. So
oh, yeah.
I'm okay with not doing one.
Right. But I did think, when I was trying to think, if we're going to do this podcast, because I think we're hilarious to watch movies with, I thought, I've got a podcast. It is a Twilight one. But I am a Patreon to it. And whenever they finish one of the Twilight books, they, like, the community of Patreon people watch the movie while the hosts watch it. And then comment, like you can hear them and then you can type and they can respond to your
Well, how about we do a little poll on Facebook? If you've listened to this, once you've listened to this episode, go to our Facebook and let us know, A, is that something you would even be willing, they pay for it?
Well,
that's so weird.
That's like that's one of the perks of Patreon. But I mean, I guess if they wanted to, who cares?
Okay, well, what if we did this? What if the Patreon money went to like a percentage or something, because maybe we want to hold a little bit back for, we decided if we get a certain amount, we might treat ourselves to fancy dinner. That's our goal, people. That's all we're in this for, is for food. Oh,
for free food.
We really are just like free food. Oh, free seafood too. We're like, we want to go to that seafood restaurant.
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh my gosh.
I can't afford it.
Let's just stop. It's kind of embarrassing. But anyway, so we decided if we reach a certain goal, we're just going to splurge and take some of that money and go. So that money we won't touch. But the Patreon money, if we did this, what if we donated some of it or all of it to like Black Lives Matter or something that is near and dear to both of us?
Yeah, I would be down for that.
Okay, so if you would be down for that, drop us a little line on the Facebook fan club, or send us an email.
Maybe on Thursday, there's a way you can make a poll. So on Thursday,
okay.
Well, I'll wait till Friday since it comes out Thursday night, and I'll put a little poll on there, and people can weigh in. So
okay, that sounds good.
If it's something you're interested in, even if you're not one of our members of the group, why not? But also come join it so that you can respond whether or not that sounds like something you would like, because it is funny. And we would
just play like a scary movie.
Yeah, and I
maybe
think
classic or a new one.
We'd find stuff that's like on Netflix or Hulu, or like a common streaming one, maybe Amazon Prime.
Yeah, something that everybody would have access to. That
hopefully you'd have access to. Like, we won't go HBO, we won't go no. Weird, obscure. I'm not gonna we're gonna rent.
Well, I will tell you what. I think one of the scariest movies I've ever watched with you, Veronica.
Yeah,
wasn't that on Netflix?
Spanish, yeah.
I don't care. Subtitles. Maybe that is what made it scarier, because you had to zoom. You had to watch the screen the whole time.
Right, which means we would not do very well at reading people's comments.
No, we definitely should not do this with a subtitle.
Well, you definitely made it sound like that's the one you wanted to watch.
No, I was telling them like it doesn't have to be HBO for it to be good. We'll pick something good on Netflix or something like that. But no, we've already. If you don't know anything from this podcast, you know that we're not the best readers. So we definitely won't read subtitles while doing that.
While reading
your messages, your comments. Yeah.
Maybe like they're not responding to anything I'm saying. It's like, we're trying to keep up with Spanish.
Just be quiet over there.
Why are you guys writing so much? We're watching a movie. No, I'm kidding. It wouldn't be like
hilarious. Too funny. No, we'd make it way more fun. I promise.
The first couple would definitely be movies that most people have seen, just because That way we can interact more until we got used to the format. I probably
Definitely. Yeah, I'm liking that idea though.
Yeah.
The more we're talking about it, the more I'm like, that would be really fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right. Well, I think that's a good place to end.
Yeah, I
Boy,
do
we
too.
rambled.
I know. Sorry, we really did talk a lot, but y'all got to meet our mom, and that's fun.
Yes, that is fun. So you owe us the rambling because we introduced you to our mother, so you have to listen to us.
That's right. You're welcome. Okay, well, this has been another fun episode 10 of My Skeptical Sister. Please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts or anywhere that you can. You can listen to us on all the platforms, but you probably already know that since you're listening.
Come join us on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes,
and
please.
Twitter.
And Twitter. We're getting there. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my best to try to get witty
All
on
you
Twitter.
famous people out there listening, come find us on Twitter.
That's right. Please tell your friends about us. Please send in stories. We really need them. So
please sponsor us.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you want to just cook us a fish sandwich in your own kitchen.
That's right.
Send it so weird. I don't know that I'd eat that. But
depends on if I know
if you're
you.
A restaurant. Yeah, for sure. If I know you. But if you're a stranger, there are boundaries. We don't know. But of course, I was the one that threw it out there and then immediately request boundaries. But you know, what I'm saying is free stuff. We like it. So sponsor us. And also because we'll get you out there. Listen.
Yeah, that's right.
People are coming. Like we've had 2 extra followers since last week.
We're growing. It might be
a little bit
very
at
slow,
a time, but it's okay. We're getting there.
Yeah. So rate and review. That will help us grow because then we can get higher up on the charts and people can find us
and give us more free stuff. We'll share.
Well, I don't know about sharing. What are we going to share?
Not the fish and chips, but other things.
Ellie, you're so loud.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Okay. Thank you guys. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.
La 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 la.